Hello, me hearties, and a big dinky do. It's just me, Scotty McClue. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's just 9:33 on the 13th of April, Wednesday, the 13th of April, 2022. We always mention the year just because the time flies at such a speed. Amazing. There's Tregs saying dinky do, Tregs. How lovely to have you with us. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning, Captain Hovis. How lovely to have you with us. I hope you're doing well, sir, and that your captaincy is going well. Are you getting into port today? Fantastic. Do come and join us as soon as you possibly can. I'm absolutely amazed at the response to this wonderful show. And we've got great news to share with you later as well. So that's rather good. We, Mrs. Woman, Dinky do, my darling. How are you this morning? And a very, very warm welcome, I say, to Scotty McClue on the big one. Fantastic stuff. Now then, hello, lovely. Hello, wee Mrs. Woman. What's on the agenda today for breakfast? What's on the menu, I should say? Breakfast isn't always an agenda. Well, it can be, just depending on what the chat's like around the breakfast table. Fantastic. There's Kareem Dinky Doo on the Facebook feed. How amazing is that? I'm grand. How are you? We, Mrs. Woman, thank you for asking. I am remarkable. And I'll tell you why I'm remarkable, because I'm absolutely blown away by the quality of this program. And that means the people who are watching and listening. So there you have it. I will no doubt just have a bowl of crunchy nuts. Oh, you can't beat the crunchy nuts. Do you not maybe pop a wee sliced banana in there, wee Mrs. Woman? I can strongly recommend it. And maybe a touch of honey. Hello, everybody. Hello, Kareem. How lovely to have you with us. Hello, Scotty. How is one? One is absolutely amazing. A1, I would say. Do you know where A1 comes from, Kareem? Morning, Scotty. The C-19 finally got me. Did you like that, Murray? The old C-19. That's the aircraft or the COVID. I don't know. I wondered if you're talking about an aircraft, the C-19. I was thinking more of the Skytrain, the one you'll see on Scotty McClue's TikTok, but I'm with you now. The C-19, yes, indeed. Absolutely. Murray, I'm so sorry to hear this, and we need you strong and well. Dinky Doo, Scotty, good morning, Ian. How lovely to have you with us in Dinky Doo. COVID, got you, Murray? Yes, absolutely on it. There we are. Tregs is saying Vegemite and toast. We advert for toast there. Scotty, what's your thoughts on hunting? Well, it depends. Hunting for what? Usually it's my car keys. Kareem has sent me lots and lots of beautiful gifts there. We love it. Thank you. TikToks, Aprils, weights, red roses. What are you going to have for breakfast? Your rolled sausage got cold the other afternoon. Oh, wee Mrs. Woman. I think I'll maybe have one long sausage topped with a fried egg. Stop. No, I mean it. There we are. Incredible stuff. Murray, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope we can get you strong and well. Please send strength, prayers, thoughts to the wonderful Murray. Yes, indeed. Murray O'Donnell, a top man. So there we are. I'm sorry that's got you, Murray. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. But not on Hallam FM. Oh, you can tell as many as you like on Hallam FM. We love it. What a great radio station that is, Tom. So there you are. Lovely to have you with us. I take it you're a Yorkshireman from Steel City. Yes, from Sheffield. A Sheffielder? Yes, a Drumfilter. Yes, that's the stuff. Morning, Scotty. Dinky Doo from me and Double. Mr. Stair, lovely to have you with us. And thank you very much for that. Tremendous. We like that. Morning, everybody. Morning. Thank you for the tennis balls. Kareem, you're very generous. Morning. J-Dog Gaming. What a privilege to hear from you. We thought we'd lost you because I know you've been a very, very busy man. What sort of things are you up to? J-Dog Gaming very, very kindly put up with Scotty McClue and his old computer and gave me great advice on some way we could update it, but it wasn't strong enough to stream at speed. And now, J-Dog Gaming, we have a new computer, as you can see, thanks to your good self and your wonderful advice. So dinky do, I say. There we are. Fantastic. Yes, everybody tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 and get sharing. We're live on the TikTok. We've got 405 likes. I think that is outstanding. So lovely to hear from you, J Dog. I'd say rabbit, deer, pheasant, that type of thing. I know some people can have interesting views. Well, I don't hunt at all. I mean, I am a crack shot, but I don't go shooting now, and I don't shoot animals or creatures because you can pick them up in the supermarket for half the price. Love a wee piece of square and a fried onion, uh, says wee Mrs. Woman. Oh, yes. I like you. I want you now. You can do this easy way, the hard way. The choice is yours. The choice is always mine. So there you go. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Dinky do. Liam, lovely to have you with us. And welcome, 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 I say, to this morning's stream. Are you a Tory? Says Callum. Callum, you should know Scottie McClue is apolitical, right? So how could you ever be a Tory? And why would you want to be? Anyway, I don't know what these people were thinking of. I wonder if the present mob have hijacked the Tory party. Is Boris Johnson using the Ukraine war to save his own political life? Well, Steve Goldie, I think he's probably hoping that the goings on in Ukraine will distract from the rather rocky road that's happening in the UK for him and for the Tories. So there you are. I mean, you know, it's not good. I heard one of the senior Tories trying to do. He's got a sort of lugubrious style, and he was trying to play it all down. It was so funny watching this very rather poor attempt, not very good acting, at playing down Partygate, saying, oh, there's much more important things going on. We shouldn't be wasting time. You think, no, 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 no. We don't take our eye off the ball because of the roar of the crowd. If there are more important things going on, fine, but also we're talking Partygate. Yes, absolutely. Tell 10, absolutely. Wonderful stuff. Callum's laughing. Morning, Scotty. You're awfully handsome. Jackie, you're awfully kind, my dear. You're very kind. Scotty, Boris can walk the streets of the Ukraine, but not Scotland. It says it all. Well, I think, Kareem, in Scotland, it'd be more like walking the plank, from that point of view. I'm in my final year of high school, moving on to uni next year. J-Dog, excellent news. Are you doing computer studies? Morning, Scotty. Are you rich, Scotty? I'm perhaps the richest man in the world. All right. A crack shot or a crack pot? Well, Stevie, only you would know the difference. I'm a crack shot, so I can only assume that you're a crack pot. There we are. But well done, my dear. Good morning, Captain. I'm now back home in Norfolk. Oh, Neil, how lovely. Beautiful, beautiful Norfolk. We love it. And you're handy for Cromer. Boris and Biden. Yes, I'm not sure that there's a great relationship there, to be honest. Trump was actually your man for America. And I think America made a wee mistake there, or a very big mistake. Have you got a sore eye, Scotty? No, wee Mrs. Women, does it look like I've got a sore eye? I think it's just the lighting. If I change the light, it disappears, does it? There we are. Scotty Boris, oh yes, we did that bit, didn't we? I'm in the oldest cinema in Wales, Scotty. Joey, that does not narrow anything down, I shouldn't think. There's a lot of old cinemas in Wales, and well, we know it. Morning, my man. You are something above us, Brandon. I am your equal. Fantastic. No, not computing studies, sadly. I'm moving on to a finance course. J-Dog, excellent. Can't fault it. Stick with the money, I say. Follow the money. When I was banking with a B, and we had a wonderful lecturer one night, and he was saying to he was an accountant, and his boss had said to him, "So where is that money?" And he said, "Well, I assumed it was in the bank." And his boss said to him, "Never assume. Rule one for finance, never assume. Never assume that people are being honest with it." I mean, Scottie McClue, the most honest man in the world, has, lost a fortune to a very bad man through assuming. So you never, ever assume. Fantastic. Irish blood, Salzgiver, good for you. 10 miles from me, Scotty. Oh, Neil, is that not amazing? Hi, sir. Yeah, so you want 1,500 likes on your live? Well, I've got 1,000, which is lovely. A very good morning, everyone, says the wonderful David Taylor. Fantastic. So good to have you with us, David, and a very good morning to you. You're watching Scottie McClue, folks. If you've just joined us, the world's top talk show, the world's top broadcaster, the father of feminism, Floatai, the first lord of the internet, hashtag Floatai, all uppercase, and of course, the world's most humble man. I always add that one in case people think I'm blowing any trumpets, and we don't want that. We don't like a blowhard. Banking with a B, Scotty. Oh, absolutely. We, Mrs. Women. There we are. Always got to be certain, not assume. Great advice. No assuming. Fantastic. So there you go. You be certain and you check where the cash is. Can I see it, please? Thank you. Good morning, Scotty. Time for breakfast, then off to work for 10 hours. Now, a goat named Jeff. That's a tough gig. You shouldn't actually have to work that hard, although that's coming from McClue, who spent his life doing shifts like that. I once did a 25-hour day. Good day, mate. Andy, good day. Lovely to have you with us from down under, Andy. Very good morning, everybody. There we have it. What's your career like? Well, some guy, I've been very, very fortunate. It's been outstanding. Television, radio, newspapers, the theatre, opera, banking, management, outstanding. And I'm very lucky. Good evening, Scotty. I'm having sausages for dinner and watching Scotty. How peaceful. Gucci Milos. Very, very good for you. Well done, sir. I say to you. There we are. There's Tind. We Mrs. Woman sent me likes. Guys, on the TikTok, I've got 1,700 likes. Now, come on. That's pretty good. Time for a sup of tea. A wee drink of the tea. Oh, that's lush. I can tell you. I've just made it 1,800 likes. Well, somebody's made it 1,900, Gucci. Thank you, thank you. 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Good morning. What's your favorite tea? Scott tea. Love it, Gucci. We're at the Earl Grey. Very popular man in this house. There's We Mrs. Women. Are you an M&S shopper? Well, We Mrs. Women, we don't advertise. But yes. So there you have it. Now then, good morning, everybody. If you've just joined us, subjects for discussion. I think I'll open the phone lines. Opera, Scotty. Pavarotti once said it only exists to give fat people hope. Well, it certainly did that for me, Steve. So there you go. I spotted your cup. Aha, We Mrs. Woman. There you are. A bit of a giveaway that. Now then, fantastic. It's with sadness that I Robot 2. So there we are. Bad Boys has been cancelled. That 2 Bad Boys has been cancelled because of the Will Smith punch. Aha, you shouldn't have done that, Joey. I don't know what was going on there. I love M&S. We all love M&S. We Mrs. Woman. Fantastic. Celtic Rangers, says Dan. What you'd be better doing, Dan, go and see them both play and then just make your mind up. And remember, it's not cast in stone. You can be a Celtic supporter one week and a Rangers supporter another. And then you could go back to being a Celtic supporter. but you'd need 2 scarves. I have a weakness, so it says for Percy Pig, says, "We, Mrs. Woman." I understand, we, Mrs. Woman. So there we have it. Now, a big subject for discussion yesterday was, does God exist? And we had a couple of doubting Thomases. So we'll still continue with that this morning. I also, should we bring back transportation? Now, I'll explain what that is for some of our younger viewers. Transportation for bad people, right? So there we are. So if you get a bad person, like the bad man that did me, should you have transportation? Now, that means negotiating, say, with Australia or India or Africa or South America, and getting a shipload of the baddies in this country, in other words, empty the slammer, and transport them for their badness. Because why do we want them in society? Okay? So have a think about that. Modern day transportation. And get them working. 6 red roses. J-Dog, you're an absolute top man. I think really bad people should go to Anthrax Island. More red roses, J-Dog. That's so kind of you. 10 red roses from the J-Dog Gaming, a top student. Do you think Boris should resign? Yeah, but who's going to want that poisoned chalice in that nest of vipers that they've created? Do you see what I mean? I once said that to somebody. I said, who's going to want to be part of that nest of vipers? And they said to me, another viper, perhaps? I love that. This guy thinks he's a professor giving a lecture. Q-Bone, I am way above professorial standard. I can tell you, I am an academic. There we are, but I don't need any titles like that. Visiting professor, I've been in higher education. The ones who go for bad men. Yes, we, Mrs. Woman. Electricity is invisible, but we know it's there. So what's the difference in God being invisible? Absolutely. And you would get a shock with both when you've discovered them. Can't get through, Scotty. Kareem, that's because we haven't opened the lines. I shall open the lines now, guys. The phones are open. You can phone Scotty McClure. I'll pop the number up for you so you can see it. Hang on. Let's get the number up for people. There we go. There we go. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
It's Kareem. How you doing?
Kareem, we just turned you up. Say dinky do again.
Dinky do, Scotty.
That's it. Lovely. We sometimes have to turn the computer down.
Right. Okay.
So you're fully turned up now. And welcome. Sorry, I should have actually got the lines, and I'm just going to pop the number up for everybody. Kareem, just bear with me a wee second, and we'll get that up there. And there it goes. That's the number up for everybody. Now, good morning, Kareem. Lovely to have you with us.
Morning, J-Dog. I hope you give a wee call in to Scotty.
Yes, lovely. Yes, J-Dog there. Fantastic.
Yep. Now, Scotty, I was thinking about what you were saying about the prisons.
Yes, empty them.
One thing that concerns me, which has just been introduced in Scotland, that juveniles, they're not going to be put in institutes or anything like that anymore because they say it's bad for their mental health. So you can have someone who's robbed a granny or done worse. They won't be going to jail if they're under 18, or the centres where they put them. I've forgotten the name of what you call them. Instead, they'll be doing like community work, or they'll be staying at home, tagged at home, and all that.
No. I think we need to get across to young people, because I remember my mother telling me when I was tiny about a man who was sent to jail for stealing a shilling.
Right.
And it frightens the life out, you know. And I think all young people, the schools could do it as well. It should be said to them, if you ever rob a granny, you will forfeit your whole life. You'll be sent abroad, and you'll be told everything you're doing because you will be branded a baddie. So we need to get across to young people that there is no leeway with badness. And I think, and we should be doing that from primary school.
I think two things that could be looked at, but I doubt that it will happen at the moment, especially the way that, I mean, I support SNP, but when you support a party, you don't necessarily support everything that they put across.
Not everything, or you don't necessarily support the leader. You just like the fact that that's the sort of most switched on party of the lot at the time.
Oh, I do support them with Alba, but I just think their approach towards young people in terms of crime is too softy. Like, we'll give you a wee hug, here's a wee pat, let's talk about your feelings. And I think to an extent people play off that, and that's evident, people do play off that. But two things I think they should do or look at, in my opinion. One, I think it's very interesting what you said, Scotty, about putting them away, whether if it's a ship or if it's somewhere else, or to do work somewhere else.
Yeah, but this idea, you will be taken out of your environment and sent somewhere else for your badness. They need to get that. Now, quite a tricky one here, Kareem, for the psychotics. So saying it's not good for their mental illness, I think if you've got, psychosis involved, you see, like the guy that robbed me, there's an element of psychosis involved there. There's an element of sociopathy and psychopathy. And these are, so what you're already saying is this child is already damaged and is already mentally ill, so has to be cured. That's a different thing to just badness, to just robbing a granny because you can get away with it. You see, that's the thing. If you say, I robbed a granny, what happened to you? Well, they took me fishing, and they took me, what do you call it when you splat people with colour shooting and all these sort of things. You think, no, paintballs. Yeah, they took us to all that. They took us to the fair. They bought us fish and chips. So I'll be robbing a few more grannies, that kind of thing.
Yes, exactly, Scotty. I do think they should bring back I've forgotten the name, it's still early in the morning, military, if you've got someone...
National service.
Correct.
Yes, national service. Well, it was more for, I can't remember the age limit, if it was 16 or 18 for national service, or 21 even. Somebody will maybe refresh us.
Yeah, I think they should have that between 16 and 18. If you are not going to stay on and study, if you're not going to get a job, and if you're just really not achieving and doing anything, then that's fine. You're now going into to that line. If you are not doing work in school, you're not attending, then you're getting shipped off to do that, to learn some basic skills.
Yes, and I think you then wouldn't have a lot of damaged people in the schools, and you would give young people a purpose in life.
I think that's a good word of saying what you said, the purpose in life. I mean, within a lot of schools, you've got non-attenders,
yes,
and the numbers are rising. And it'd be quite interesting to see what they are across Scotland, probably more in certain areas, but you've got kids that I'm not coming to school, and there's nothing you can do about it, and they stay home.
And the first thing, I notice a lot of young people nowadays, when you talk to them, they say, I don't care. And, the answer to that is, well, that's the first thing you need to learn, is to care. Yeah. But then again, somebody would say, well, is somebody caring for them?
Correct. Correct. Well,
do their parents care? Do their parents say to the school, no, please take their mobile phone off them?
Yeah. If they're doing national service in a form, there will be care, they'll be supervised, they'll be fed, they'll be learning, they'll be have a bed to sleep on, and it's probably there'll be structure and guidance as opposed to probably the opposite that they have.
Structure and guidance, yes. Their mother is the sergeant major.
Yeah.
I'm your mother now. There we are. Australia's too nice for them. Send them somewhere minging, says we Mrs. Women. Repent and believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, says Ribbon. J-Dog says, I agree. Oh, yes, he's talking to we Mrs. Women. I think they should send people to the army and teach them respect and discipline. Yes, indeed. I would only send them into training. I wouldn't trust them with guns, says J-Dog. Is the hat COVID safe? Very much so, Ralph. COVID proof. I've never spun it with COVID yet. Bring back national service. NATO needs more bodies, says Donny. And here's our answer, 18 for national service.
I think 16 to 18. It might not be for 2 years. If it was like a 6-week or a 2-month course or something like that, and that they've got the option to stay on if they want to do that. And I think some of these kids, that's all they need is a wee kick up the backside and to get a bit of more structure, because at the moment all they're getting is being mollycoddled. Oh, come on into school. Oh, come on, sit down. Yes, you're causing havoc. Don't worry about that. We know you're having a hard time. Whereas it's my catchphrase, what I've said to you, Scotty, it's at the moment, it's the majority always having to suffer for the minority.
Yes. It would be a shame that if you had 2 or 3 disruptive pupils in a class and it spoils it for the other 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And, teachers spend their time shouting at this 1 or 2 who are attracting all their attention when they're trying to teach the rest.
Yeah. I think the problem now is if we look at education as a whole, it's not 1 or 2 now. You're talking about 5 or 6. And that 5 and 6 to me are more of a handful. And then what I call the floating voters in the class that can be persuaded to go either way. So when these middle groups see these 5 or 6 being absolute numpties, then the rest of the class tends to sway to go that side.
Yes, I think.
And then it's very hard.
Go on, Kareem. No, go on.
Hiya, hello.
Hello, go on, carry on.
Sorry, so I was saying there that middle group would sway more to the bad behaviour, and then that's when you start to lose the dressing room, as you say.
Yeah.
So, and it all starts from primary, what they learn and what they take.
Well, I think if we explain to children, even before teaching them all about all sorts of genders and things like that, if we explain to children, now, this is good, this is bad. If you ever did that, that's not good for you. And, you don't need to frighten the wee ones. You just need to explain very, very clearly and reinforce that all through their education about being good, because you're looking for responsible citizens and effective contributors.
Correct.
At the end of the day, that's your 2 capacities, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yes, you've got the 4 capacities, but Scotty, that's all going to change with this new body taking over.
Yes. The successful learners, the confident individuals, the responsible citizens, and the effective contributors. Am I right?
Yes. Correct, Scotty. Yeah. If you look at Japan, what you've said there, in the primary schools in Japan, till a late age, they don't give them maths or English or tests. What they teach them is about family values and about respect and cleaning. Help. All about looking after what you have, and we don't do that here. Whereas you've got kids that are more happy, throw stuff down, clean it up, run after me. I think we need to take a wee leaf out the book what you see in Japan.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think from that point of view, if you're talking global one world government, all these things that are being bandied about, then I think we should be looking at the good things. Saying, is there anything we can take here? Because that's what you do anywhere. You go into a sale room, If you're needing
yes,
something, you look round and you say, is there anything here for me? You look
mhm,
at courses and education. Is there anything here for me? You're reading a book. What happens next? Is there anything here for me? All these
mhm,
sorts of things. And that's human nature. And,
mhm,
when you go into a job, how do I get promoted? How do I learn? What do I have to do? Is there anything here for me?
mhm,
You go on
yeah,
a flight, you sit there, you know that you're going from A to B, but are there some movies? Is there a meal included? What's the cost? Is there a
mhm,
toilet on the plane? Blah, blah, blah.
yeah, yeah. That's, I'll leave you this thought, Scotty. It's a bit off the topic, but it's about we're talking about learning and how I suppose that can affect an individual for later life. There was a study in China. And as you know, China, they've got massive, massive classes. The kids sit there and just listen to teacher. They don't question, they don't answer. And they brought some British kids to join into that environment. And you had this, obviously some things were done for show and for camera. You had the wee boy that got up at the back of the class and the teacher didn't realise he got up, but he went up, put the kettle on and made himself a cup of tea and just, playing up to the camera. But when it came to the actual test, because the head teacher from Britain said, I don't think the Chinese kids are going to do well because there's none of this interaction, there's no group work, there's no cooperative learning, which is also important for them. And it actually turned out that all the kids, including the British kids that went through the Chinese system, done exceptionally well compared to the models that we're using here. So that's just a thought that it was really structure, routine,
Yeah.
listen to the teacher. And there was not too much of the opposite, which we have, where it's all group work and what do you think? And whereas a lot of kids just think, oh, you know what, I don't care, I'll sit back. Whereas opposed, you need to listen, you need to put this down, you need to do this. Now tell me what you think very briefly, then move on. So it's just different methods. I just found that quite
Yeah, but
interesting.
you see, a class learning, so you've got, say you had 30, for argument's sake, 30 individuals sitting,
Yeah,
and you're not doing group work, they're individuals listening to the teacher. Yeah,
yes, yeah,
that's effectively group work.
mm-hmm,
That's still group work because they're learning as a class. And if you look at the most important elements of early learning, so you're
yeah,
looking at getting the child to read and to do numbers and that sort of setup. The rote learning was actually the most effective, the times tables,
mm-hmm, yeah,
because they're then in at a formative age, at a very, very important age, and they won't forget them. And as I say, when I went into banking, we had a subject in school called arithmetic, a separate subject, and you could get an O grade or an O level in arithmetic. So you would
yeah,
do maths and arithmetic. And my arithmetic was outstanding. And
yes,
that was due
yeah,
to the rote learning.
yeah, yeah.
So in,
Well,
in those days, you didn't have the same machinery in banking. So you were adding stuff up in your head.
yes, yeah. You had to use your brain.
Oh, and it was fantastic. And I could actually add up huge figures of checks and cash while holding a conversation. Because when the
Wow.
customer was waiting, they would say, how are you today, Mr. So-and-so, thanks very much. And you would take the pay in and then you would start adding like crazy. And as you were adding, they'd be wanting to talk because they were out their office, they were bored. It was
Yeah,
somebody different that they sort of knew maybe even quite well because they were in every day. And they would say,
uh-huh,
so are you going on holiday? And well, I was thinking maybe taking a week to Rothsay as you're adding up.
mm-hmm,
So you've
yeah,
got multitasking as well.
yeah. Lots of skills to be used there. But listen, Scotty, what I'll do, I'll get you let other callers come on, but I just thought it was really interesting, a good topic, and I'll be interested to see what other people come up with as well regarding the prisons abroad.
Kareem, as always, an absolute privilege to talk to you, and dinky do, as we say.
tomorrow, Scotty.
I
Bye.
look
Have a
forward
great
to it.
day.
Bye-bye, sir. There we are. That's Scream, a fantastic call. I always feel lots to say. Streaky Bacon says, why is Scotland the drugs death capital of the world? We need to expunge drugs from Scotland. We've got rid of smoking, more or less, and we've cut down on alcohol hugely. So we now need to expunge the drugs and make Scotland a drug-free place, drug-free by 2023. Scotty, do you think Biden is cognitively impaired? Mr. Martin, it seems to be becoming more and more widespread that there could be a challenge there for Uncle Joe. Mr. Martin says, should topless women's darts be allowed? I think it's too dangerous. I don't know if you're a darts player, but darts are very sharp. And obviously, if there was ever an accident, if somebody's got big, thick clothing on, then that might be better. But we don't want anything happening. So I would say no. I wouldn't play darts topless, and I wouldn't expect the missus to. In Germany, you had a choice to work in hospital or join the army. Donny boy, you have cracked it, Lala. That's what we need to be doing. Germany finished their national service. They just gave up national service in 2007. Wow, we love it. I believe he was a real person, but not anything special. What's that one done? Don't know who we're talking about. Kids get far too much these days. Parents are far too soft. I think it might also be down to how parents are bringing up their children. I think so, J-Dog. And if you got the message across to the parents and you said to them, look, be very careful your child is not a baddie. Otherwise, you will lose that child and they'll be taken into care. So Donny Boy says, what we got here? Kids' lives are much better off now than they were during the discipline era of school. Dayun, I think they are, by and large. But, with all this problems that we've got, government-created problems, smacking is banned in Scotland. It is, Donny Boy, yes. You can no longer discipline your own child with a physical punishment. So there we are. I'm all for live and let live. I believe in myself. Good for you, we Mrs. Woman. We believe too. In what respect? There's a conversation going on here. What do we got here? I have no issue with any religion, says we Mrs. Woman. The only time I'm bothered is when it divides us. We Mrs. Woman, religion has never, ever, 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 ever caused a problem. Any problems are through a lack of knowledge and understanding of religion. All right, so there you have it. Dinky Doo. Now, what do we got here? And somewhat believe in ghosts in which we stay on this planet, and there's no golden gates. Well, we don't know. We shall find out, J-Dog. The Tory party's proof there's a global economy conspiracy. Well, I just think that there's a lot of damage been done. And I'm, as I say, totally apolitical. But one of the greatest pieces of damage ever done was Beeching's cuts. He was a Tory, Dr. Beeching, and the cuts made to the rail network. That was a disaster. And then disaster followed disaster. So we've had very few Labour governments in this country. They don't seem to be popular because Jeremy Corbyn was very close to being elected. And he was a serious politician. Whatever you think about Boris, you couldn't call him a serious politician. There we go. Now then, there are no golden gates in heaven, says Donny Boy. Have you been, Donny? Tell us more. Children would respect or even fear a local policeman. Now they call them names and attack them. Now, we, Mrs. Woman, yes. And there's a crowd go round TikTok cheeking up to police, filming police stations and then cheeking up if the officers come out. So we need to give the police powers to deal with these kind of cretins. Very, very important. Filming them for a start, putting them on the police YouTube website. Is that maybe because children aren't respected either? Dayun, you're on to a scene there, Lala. There are two elements to this. There is a global economic reset going on, but it's not a Tory thing, says Chaz. Right, Chaz. There are more crows than police. Oh, there are plenty who should enlist the crows. They're highly intelligent and they could keep an eye out for the baddies and go into the police station and go, and report them. Women's darts used to be on TV years ago, the TV company. So, right, oh, fair enough, Ray. But no, I don't know about women's darts. I'm not a fan of communism. I don't think anybody is. There's virtually no communism nowadays because your so-called communist economies, like Russia and China and that sort of thing, and North Korea, they're not really. They're booming economies. We should decriminalize drugs. Well, Diane, now there's a thought. Tell us more on this. These are very important subjects. Oh, by the way, guys, just to let you know, McClue will be back on the radio soon. I think Biden's too busy dealing with terrorism abroad to forget it happens in his own country. J-Dog, very good point. Yes, who are the terrorists? Who are the baddies and who are the goodies? From Barcelona, Heather, lovely to have you with us. See, from Barcelona, lovely. See, mi alamo Scotty McClue. You know what I mean, Scotty? We do. Of course, I know what you mean. We Mrs. Woman. Religion has literally caused so many problems in the world. Would be 1,000 years more advanced without it. No, Dayun. Religion has never, ever, ever caused a problem. Because remember, there are plenty of religions out there to choose from, or none. So that's brought us forward. We'd be billions of years behind without religion. The first learned people writing the Bible. Boris, large projects have damaged our economy. Just look at Portugal. Decriminalizing drugs would make people less likely to hide them. So there we are. Yeah, but why have we got drugs at all? You don't need them. They're a con. Why have we even got them? Like, I've proved you don't need tobacco, and you don't need alcohol, and you don't need caffeine. So why would you want drugs? It's a cult and cultural thing. There's no value in them at all. In fact, a lot of damage. How about the Holocaust? Was that not about religion? The Holocaust was more about power and control. That's what the Holocaust was about. Hitler deeply, deeply, deeply resented the control of the money in Germany and the move from people from Russia to Germany. So there you are. Yes, I mean, there's no doubt his ire and anger was directed at a particular religion, but also at other religions as well. There you are. They'd come back. I didn't call your slugger. What are you even doing on here? Let's get rid of this half-wit slugger. Slugger, remember you are a half-wit and you bring nothing to the live. So we'll send you down, Swanee, and toast you. And you will never appear again. Bye-bye, slugger. There he goes. Good. Right, that's it. Love is the best drug. Oh, I'm a bit addicted to that, Donny boy. Excellent stuff. Mr. Martin, it was topless, strange but true. I love it, says Mr. Martin. Fantastic. You're enjoying the show, everybody. If you've just joined us, you're watching Scotty McClue. The phone lines are open. If anybody would like to give us a call, feel free so to do. There we have it. Just check. Yes, phone lines are open and all is well. Love is the best drug. We love it. That's what it's all about. Now, then, a very good morning to you. If you've just joined us, as some of you may have, and you've thought, what on earth is this? This is the world's top talk show. This is Scottie McClue, voice of the world, radio talk show on the internet. You can't say fairer than that unless you can't pronounce your F's or your THs. And we're talking this morning about crime and punishment. Should we bring back transportation? That's what I think. That's me off, Scotty, until we speak again. J-Dog, it's been a privilege and a pleasure. Lovely to hear from you again. Good luck with your studies, and thank you for all your advice on the internet. I hope you're impressed with the outcome. Dinky do. Thanks, J-Dog. All the best, La. I think the death penalty should be brought back. But what for? Financial fraud? Taking somebody's savings if you're a very, very bad man? What else should we bring back the death penalty for? Killing someone for murder, for killing a granny for drugs, then death to the junkie. Bob Marley, the song Make Love No War. Yes, I wonder if President Putin is listening to that right now. There we go. That would be quite good if his top aides would play him it and say, Vladimir, you have to listen to Bob Marley. Got to go, Scotty. I need to iron Mike's shots. Have a great day. Lucky Mike, he will be looking as if he's come out of bandbox. We, Mrs. Woman, have a great day. Lovely having you with us, and a big dinky do to you. And ta-ra-la, stick your tongue out and say ta-ta, ba-ba. I disagree with capital punishment. It lets off serious criminals too easily. Dayun, you need to explain more, where you're coming from. Fantastic. That's what it's all about. The transportation would take the criminals out of our society, including the druggies. So there you have it. That would be the stuff there. So you would be able to take the druggies out of society, so you'd have no more drugs. And I think Scotland would make a very good experimental platform for that, and then it's drug-free. There we have it. Could you explain what you mean about transportation? I can, Owen. Transportation was what we used to do in the old days with our baddies. We dumped them around the British Empire by putting them, arresting them, trying them, charging them, finding them guilty, putting them on board a ship and sending them to another part of the world. Like Australia was built on a lot of criminals coming from the UK. Well, coming from England, you wouldn't get so many from Scotland. Scotland was depopulated through the Highland clearances. So that's what I mean about that. Scottish government own our national railways now. Well, Donny Boy, they want to create a network. Fantastic, a beautiful network that's the envy of the world. Used to just be able to go anywhere in Scotland by walking a few yards. And trains are so much better than anything else. Drugs are a huge bucks industry. Well, Eurocon, that would have to be crashed and people would have to make the money some other way. Of course they are. I mean, the only reason that that people take drugs because they're addictive, and it's for other people to steal money from them. You know what I mean? So there we have it. I wouldn't say that would be good now, just pushing criminals onto someone else. Oh, and why not? Then they're not your problem. And you would agree a sort of way of running it. Even got more stations planned for Scotland. Excellent, Donny Boy. Trains are a lovely way to get about. I used to go to school for fourpence return 4D. 4D. Hi, Scotty. Dinky do to you. Dinky do. Dean, lovely to have you with us. And welcome, welcome. Where would we put them? It's not our right to push them onto another country. Diane, you're not realizing it's nothing to do with a right. It's a conversation. You pay another country. They go, yeah, we'll take them. Yeah, but you'd need to punish them for us. Oh, we'll do all of that. Do not worry. Deal done. It's a conversation, you know. Putin will be gone this year. Do you think so, Mr. Martin? Do you think he'll get voted out? Where would we put them? So there's a whole world out there desperate for economy. Stick them in parts of India, parts of Africa. Australia might still take a few, because they'd understand. South America, lots of desert places. I thought you meant just push them onto someone else, like the 19th century. No, Diane. You negotiate, and you get them over like Turkey. Takes a lot of the UK's rubbish. You think it's all been recycled. It's been put in a boat and taken to Turkey. UK is the biggest exporter of cannabis in the world. Well, Mr. Martin, as long as they're exporting it and not importing it, that makes a bit of a difference. I don't know why. Have to dash you on tonight, Scotty. Might be Eurocon. We'll see how things go. It's going to be a very, 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 very busy day for me. And my problem is getting a window to do the lives. That's the thing. But you dash off, dear boy. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you very much. Isaac's joining us. Dinky Doo. Fantastic. What a great show today, guys. I can tell you, this is huge. Feel free to give us a call. We can always squeeze in a small one, as the missus never tires of telling me. There we go. Nicola has joined us. Guys, make sure you're following as soon as you go on. I get slightly anxious that a lot of you join and watch, but don't actually follow. Now, it can't be laziness, because it's just clicking the top left corner, the same as subscribing to the YouTube channel. If everybody watching on YouTube subscribes, there's a lot of gold in recycling circuit boards. Right, well, good one, Donny boy. There's something that came random right out from the left field. I'll scan tonight anyways for you. Have a blasted day. Hashtag FloatI, the human oracle. Eurocon, you're an absolute topper. Have a fabulous day. Stay fabulous. And as we say in the best of circles, dinky doo. Hello from Dublin. Hello, how lovely to have you with us from Dublin. And a big dinky doo to you. Love to the Liffey, I say. Gordon says your problem is getting a window to do the live. Surely you mean your problem is finding a window. That isn't so dirty, it lets the light in. Gordon, you must not assume everybody else has your lifestyle. Some of us do wear windies. There you are. Your neighbours must be all talking about the state of your filthy windows. No, Gordon. Again, you mustn't do what's called classic projection. My windows are stunning. There we are. Jesus died for our sins, was buried and rose again on the third day, saved by grace through faith. Sen is Stella. I could not agree with you more. Dublin's still part of Europe. I am jealous. I know Scotland should be part of, well, the UK should still be part of Europe. That was the worst con ever. That was dreadful. You had Margaret Thatcher wrecking the economy. You'd got Brexit wrecking the economy, big style, as if it wasn't badly enough wrecked. We begged on our bended knees to be accepted into Europe. It ended in a huge improvement to this country, a huge improvement to trade, fantastic flow of food and money and peace and prosperity. And some half-witted idiot took us out of Europe and robbed almost 70 million people of their EU citizenship. Now, if that's not a tut-tut-tuttity-tut, what is? Do you know what I'm saying? I hear you could grow a crop of potatoes in your windows. Gordon, again, you're obsessed with all this. You could grow a crop of potatoes in your ears. Fantastic. I remember when your windows were clean enough, I could see things in the wall behind you. Gordon, I think you're maybe talking about the camera lens. That's nothing to do with the windows. There we go. Now, what have we got here? Donny boy? Yes, probably. No, 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 no. I mean, the damage that's been done from Beeching onwards. And then, if you look upon it, people have voted in people that have brought them nothing but recession and suffering because it's all about pandering to the billionaires. They've said if we have to pay a penny a tax, we'll be taking more money out of there. Oh, no, don't worry, we'll get Brexit. We'll come out of Europe. We'll come out of Europe for you. We'll con the folk. There we go. We'll get 2 million people dictating to 70 million. We'll call it democracy. Ah, Scotty, that sounded political. A Tory fan, obviously not. Ray, no, nothing political about it. You see, it's actually apolitical, from that point of view. But what it will mean is economic annihilation for us all and political fragmentation of the UK, because Scotland will not put up with that. We love the Scottish farmers. We don't love the Scottish farmers. We adore the Scottish farmers. Oh my goodness, look at the time. The Falklands War saved Maggie Thatcher. No, it distracted everybody. But if Boris is hoping for a similar result with the UK and the Ukraine and all that kind of stuff, and Mr. Putin and NATO, and no, not happening. I don't think so. There we have it. Don't you think we'd be better off as a parliamentary republic like Ireland or Germany? We're never a republic because you need Her Majesty the Queen. And the crown is our symbol of authority. And all this you were conned, obviously, Dayun. You'll get your country back and all that. The country hadn't gone anywhere. We were a member state of the most fabulous club in the world with 30% with our dear friends and allies, Germany, controlling 30% of a market of 510 million people in 52 countries. And now what have we got? Diddly squat. Maggie was a wonderful PM. Gordon, you are obviously into damaging the economy. Yes, a wonderful PM. I'll tell you. Well, anyway, you obviously fancied her. You don't need parasites. Well, you see, Dayun, that's your biggest mistake. The monarchy is one of our greatest assets. They take nothing from us. It costs 167 million. They bring in upwards of 2 billion. Tourism brings in 210 billion. The monarchy do not take a penny, right? They are self-sufficient. They're virtually self-financing, particularly Her Majesty the Queen and the heir to the throne. So there you go. So Dayun, you've shown up your ignorance there. You need to change that. They're undemocratic and interfering in politics. No, they're democratic. We voted for our king, right? That was called the Declaration of Arbroath. And then Scotland took over the English crown in 1603. So it's effectively a Scottish institution. God save the Queen. Absolutely, Donny boy. So Dayun, you've had your head stuffed with a lot of nonsense and your shoulders laden with chips. And you'll get the truth from McClue, but whether you're big enough to accept the truth is another matter. You have to think about that. Her Majesty the Queen is the best thing in the UK. Yes, Gordon, come on. Are you not... come on, Gordon, are you not a monarchist? Can we not get some support here? We've never voted for the current Queen, and Charles always pushing his own agenda in politics. No, Dayun. Charles is apolitical because the monarchy is apolitical and he's the heir to the throne. So he's not in the big chair, right? And our current queen, yes, in perpetuity, her heirs and successors, we voted them in. We chose our king. Otherwise, Rome would be choosing the monarch. Capiche? Maggie was the best, says Mr. Martin. I'm totally a monarchist, says Gordon Robertson. Good one, Gordon. And when Scotland becomes independent, we will be independent. We'll be keeping the monarchy. I can assure you. The country was at its best when it had two women at its head, Her Majesty the Queen and Maggie. Well, there you go, Gordon. On that note, we have to dash. I love you guys. Dinky do. That's our beautiful TikTokers. have had to go. What a fabulous show this morning, guys. I thank you. There's a Scotty McClure saying thank you very much for watching. Dinky do to every single one of you. Set your notifications. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube and that you're following on the TikTok and everywhere else. Ta-ra, laws!